Well, you know who I am and I know who you are, but just in case you have a lack of memory, my name is Tosh. This is Tosh Talks. I am the book buyer at Book Soup in West Hollywood, Los Angeles. And for anybody who comes to Book Soup, you must be aware that we have really a great music section in our store. It's something that I'm obsessed with and other people are obsessed with at Book Soup as well as our customers. And right now I just want to focus on something that's very dear to my heart. Glam rock, glitter rock. Nothing to do with the real world. I really don't like the real world. But glam rock, it's sort of a dream world. And without a doubt, the two key participants of glam rock are Mark Bolan of T-Rex, and of course David Bowie, especially with the Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars era. And the person who captured David Bowie and Ziggy period was Mick Rock, a great photographer, a very interesting photographer. And I'm going to start off with the Mick Rock book right now. This is his new collection of photographs. It's called Mick Rock Exposed. And that's Mr. Bowie on the cover, obviously. And the back, we have Freddie Mercury, Debbie Harry, and Snoop Dogg. Now, Mick Rock is still, from the very 60s, from the mid-60s to now, he's still working and mostly focusing on doing portraits of rock and roll people. But my main interest in Mick Rock's work is his photographs of the glam rock period. He took essential, iconic, really important photographs of David Bowie during his Ziggy days and before, and also focus on a certain Syd Barrett. Syd Barrett was the main songwriter and the main creative input of Pink Floyd in 66, 67, and then went solo, made very much two influential solo albums. And here's the beautiful Syd Barrett. I can't see it too well. But Syd Barrett is probably one of the most charismatic pop figures maybe ever. And eventually he had mental problems of various sorts, either due to drug intake or just a natural schizophrenia. But anyway, Mick Rock was in the right place, right time. He went to Cambridge, and Syd Barrett's from the Cambridge area. And he photographed and met Syd Barrett around that same time, that really important period of time in Syd Barrett's life as well as Mick Rock's life. And Mick Rock photographed Syd Barrett for his first solo album. That's actually extremely famous, very iconic, and actually the whole book is focusing on the Syd Barrett photographs. And those photographs were basically placed in Syd Barrett's living room in his flat at the time in London. And it's just one of the great rock and roll iconic photographs, these series of photographs of Syd. And then after the Syd Barrett time, he focused on David Bowie. And he photographed a lot of the Ziggy Stardust stuff of David Bowie. Trying to find a good photograph of Ziggy here somewhere. And also he did the classic Iggy Pop Raw Power image for the Raw Power cover. And he also did the iconic cover for Lou Reed's The Transformer, which is right here. And of course you can't see this clearly. You have to come to the bookstore and get the book yourself to really look at it closely. This is all false. This is all fake. Showbiz. And Mick, and here's some of the classic David Bowie photographs, a double spread. Both from Ziggy. This is from pinups on right here where my finger is, and this is from an early Ziggy Stardust shoot. And Mick Rock, this was really in the right place and right time, and really captured this when Bowie was at his blossoming. You know, I think of David Bowie sort of at this point in Ziggy Stardust, he's like a little flower, and then it became a full blossom. And Mick Rock captured that sort of Bowie blossom thing. And Mick Rock also did photographs for early Queen when they were young and for a new band. And this book is a really good overall career look of Mick Rock's work. And it's definitely an important book to get, especially if you're interested in rock and roll as an iconic art form or as a platform of sorts. And it's a must book. As well, you should get it. It's a good photography book. Now, I just read this biography on Marc Bolan of T-Rex. Fascinating book, an excellent biography. It's written by Mark Patress. This is a British import. You can't get it in America, as far as I know, but we carry it at BookSoup because we carry a lot of British imports. And Bolan is a fascinating figure. He was born in East London or South London, and was pretty much his father was a tailor, so his family background was clothing, the rag trade, as they say. And Marc Bolan, as a teenager, was keen of the mods. He became totally a mod-obsessed personality. And it's strange enough, his mod aesthetic sort of taken over, or took him to his other stage when he became a member of, or he was Tyrannus Rex, which was a folk version of T-Rex. It was just him and a congo player, and very hippy-dippy lyrics and a hippy-dippy image, yet Marc Bolan truly was not a hippie. He was basically a mod and always was a mod. And then, of course, Tyrannus Rex turns into T-Rex. And for like 2 years in the UK and Europe, T-Rex was almost as big as the Beatles. He was a teen idol, very much. And but Marc Bolan was also an excellent songwriter. Not as great as his friend as David Bowie, because David Bowie, I think, had a bigger canvas to work on, a bigger picture. But Bowie and Bolan sort of came at the same time, same period of time. And they knew each other in the 60s as well, throughout the 70s. And what's interesting is comparing the two artists. And the comparison is made quite strongly in the Bolan biography. In my opinion, I think Marc Bolan had his time period, had his time, and he used his time quite well, but he didn't know how to expand his period in his time. And he made classic albums, Electric Warrior and The Slider, two fantastic, unbelievably great albums. But he could not continue on making great music. Although, I don't think there is a bad Marc Bolan or T-Rex record. All of them are interesting. But The Slider and Electric Warrior for sure are fascinating. And this book is a really, really good biography of not only Marc Bolan, but also David Bowie a little bit in here, as well as the whole glam rock movement. And also London life during the 50s and 60s is very well captured in this particular book. Now, this is something I'm very excited about. If you're a David Bowie fan, this book is a must. It's called Any Day Now, The London Years, 1947 to 1974. And this is it's almost an encyclopedia of David Bowie's life in that time period. Goes up to Diamond Dogs. So it goes from his early trying to be a pop star years in the 60s to Diamond Dogs, and of course through the whole Ziggy Stardust era. And what's fascinating about this book, it's put together by Kevin Can, and Kevin Can worked with Bowie as his main archivist. So Can has access to David Bowie's archives, his old photographs, and what you get here is basically like this great publicity photographs as well as news clippings of early Bowie, and the book is laid out. The text is like a day-to-day life of David Bowie during those years. Now, you may not be interested in a lot of the information, but for a true Bowie fan or a true pop English rock fan, this book is essential. And you get a lot of original contracts, correspondence from Bowie to various people, and also it deals with the music business of that time, in the 60s, which is absolutely fascinating. And this is really, really a remarkable book, incredibly well researched. And like a couple of shows ago I talked about Mozopedia, the Morrissey book, which is a dictionary of all Morrissey's influences. Although there's not the same thing exactly, but this book definitely records and acknowledges and goes in detail about all of David Bowie's influences. His favorite books, his favorite recordings, his favorite recording artists, his obsession with Syd Barrett, which Mick Rock had the same obsession. And it's a remarkable book, a remarkable study on a great recording artist and a great 20th century pop star, in my opinion. And here you get some beautiful early photographs of David Bowie, which is all throughout the book. This book is not released yet. DEP, who normally do art books and photo books, are putting this book out or distributing this book. And this is absolutely a must type of title for Book Soup. And I can't tell you how important it is as a book documenting the glam rock years of David Bowie. So here we have the great Bowie sort of oversized biography of the early years. We have the Mark Bolan, which is a remarkable biography. And of course we have Mick Rock's Exposed. So here we have sort of the essential glam rock books right now. And I strongly suggest that you look into it or get these books. They're very, very good. And I will see you next week talking about different sorts of literature and music. Take care. Bye-bye.